Hi everybody, welcome back. It's a beautiful day today. It looks like it wants to rain, and that's a good thing. Now, at one time or another, many of us find ourselves in a situation where we don't know what to do with leftover chicken. My Ron grilled yesterday, and I have some leftover chicken. I have 3 cups worth. This is a mixture of white and dark, and I cut it up into small cubes. You can shred it if that's what you want to do. Now, if you don't have leftover chicken, you can always use rotisserie chicken. Today, I'm going to be making a delicious, creamy, cheesy chicken and pasta casserole. And here's my pasta. I've got small shelled pasta right here. I like to use small pasta. I don't want to use a big clunky pasta because then it takes longer to cook. And I have 2 cups. So I've got my water boiling right here. I'm going to add my salt. You want it nice and salty. And I'm going to add my 2 cups of pasta in here. And I'm going to cook it for about 8 minutes. Just follow the directions on the back of the package. Now, I like to cook it for about 8 minutes. It always works just fine when I'm using the small shelled pasta. So after 8 minutes, I'm going to drain it and I'm going to rinse it really well. So now I'm going to add it into this bowl. I'm going to cover it up and I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to get started with my beautiful creamy sauce. I think you're going to love it. So I'm going to be using this skillet right here to make my creamy sauce. And it's nice and hot, set on low medium. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons butter. And I'm going to move my butter around until it melts really well. So now that my butter is nice and melted, I'm going to add my onions. I have 1 cup of finely chopped onions. I think most of you know that I always like to put the onions in first so they can release their flavor in here. So now that my onions are slightly translucent, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of finely chopped orange bell pepper. You can use the yellow one or your favorite. And I'm also going to add 2 large garlic cloves that are finely minced together. And I'm going to move all this around for about 1 minute. You don't want to burn your garlic. It's starting to smell delicious. So after a minute, I'm going to add my all-purpose flour. I have 3 tablespoons. This is how we're going to make our delicious homemade sauce. I'm going to move it around until it gets nice and cooked. You don't want raw flour in your sauce. So my flour is well cooked. Now I'm going to add my milk. I have 1.5 cups of whole milk. And I'm going to add it in here slowly. And I'm going to whisk it because I want it to be real nice and creamy. So you want to whisk it non-stop. And as I continue to whisk it, it's going to slowly start getting thicker and thicker. And here's the last of the milk. So as I wait for it to get a little thicker, I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of Better Than Bouillon chicken flavor right in here. And I'm going to add 2 hits of Cayenne Pepper. 1, 2. You can add as much as you want. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And I'm going to continue whisking it until it gets real nice and thick and creamy. So my creamy sauce is perfect and it's ready. Now you want to taste it and adjust it if you have to, but you want to make sure that you don't get it too salty because we've got other ingredients that are going to go in here and you don't want to overdo it. Look at how nice this looks. Just beautiful. I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to set it aside right here. And now we're ready for the best part, and that's putting it together. Super easy. Now into this big bowl, I'm going to add all my pasta. Just dump it in here. That's good. And I'm going to add my 3 cups of chicken. I'm going to add 3/4 cup of corn. Now this is just canned corn because it's sweet and I like that. Now I'm going to add all my sauce in here. Look at that. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. You can add your favorite cheese. And I have 1.5 cups of Monterey Jack. I like the combination. You can use your favorite. I think they're all good. Now I'm going to toss all this together. Before I continue tossing it, I'm going to add 1 cup of sour cream. I like to add the sour cream at the end because you don't want it to curdle. So once the temperature has come down in the bowl, you can add your sour cream. And I'm going to add just a little bit more pepper. Or you can add a little bit more cayenne pepper if you want to do that. And now I'm going to toss it in real good together. Make sure that it's all well combined. Now you can add your favorite vegetables in here. Sometimes I add green peas. I just follow the package directions on frozen peas and then I add it in here. Now you can add broccoli, just cut it up into small pieces and just blanch it and then put it in here. It's all good. I love the corn and so does my Ron because it's a little sweet and tangy with a sour cream and it's a perfect combination. So I've got it all combined. Now this would be a good time for you to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I have mine nice and ready. So I'm going to set this aside for just a little bit and I'm going to spray my dish. This is a 10.5 by 9 and it's 2¼ inches deep. I'm going to spray it lightly with some nonstick spray. You can use butter if you want to do that. I never like to take chances. Now I'm going to add all my mixture in here. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm just going to smooth it out. And that's good. Now I'm going to add my cheese. I have 1 cup of cheese. Half is Monterey Jack and half is the sharp cheddar. So I'm going to add the Monterey Jack on top. You can add as much as you want. I find that 1 cup is pretty good. There's a Monterey Jack. Now the sharp cheddar. Now I'm going to add the last topping. In this little Ziploc bag, I have half a sleeve of Ritz crackers. Half a sleeve works perfect for me, but you can always add a little bit more. I'm just going to crumble it up really good like that. This is going to give it that beautiful crust right on top. It's optional. If you want to just add your cheese, that's fine. But this just gives it a little bit of a crunch, and the sweetness of the Ritz crackers combined with the rest of the ingredients is delicious. Now I'm going to add my crumbs into this bowl. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Now make sure that you have all these crumbs coated with butter. Just do the best you can. So I have all my crumbs nice and coated. Now I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. And that's good. Now I'm going to stick it into my oven right on the center rack that's preheated to 350 degrees for 35 minutes or until it gets real nice and bubbly and golden brown from the top. Keep your eyes on it, uncovered, just like this. And here it is. It's been 35 minutes. Come take a look. Now I'm going to set it right here and I'm going to let it cool for about 10 minutes because it'll be a lot easier to serve that way. So I'm ready to serve. It's been about 10 minutes. Now you can use a spatula or you can use a spoon, whichever you like. Oh, this is going to be delicious. I'm going to cover this up. And I'm going to be serving this with a salad. It just goes so perfect with it. You can serve it with anything you like on the side. But a cold salad just goes so well with this. And when I serve the salad, I like to put some ranch dressing right on top because the tanginess of the ranch dressing and this casserole just goes so good together. And I'm going to enjoy it with some tropical punch. Now it's time for the taste test. So easy, so delicious. Mm-mm. And now my tropical punch. Oh my goodness. This is heavenly delicious. And I'm sure children will absolutely love it. And it's super easy. So this is my creamy, cheesy chicken and pasta casserole. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment, and tell me what you think. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you.